The OSI model is an extremely important part in understanding network communication, so let's go over why it's needed. For communication to happen across a network, each layer of that network must be able to agree on a set of standards and protocols. But there are so many different manufacturers of network equipment and so many devices that work on these networks, it seems inconceivable that they'll all be able to communicate. This is where the OSI model comes in, to help us understand how data is exchanged between devices, how it's packaged, and how it flows across a network. Starting at the top, the layers in the OSI model are Layer 7, Application, Layer 6, Presentation, Layer 5, Session, Layer 4, Transport, Layer 3, Network, Layer 2, Data Link, and Layer 1, Physical. Remember that these are conceptual layers, and each layer can have a variety of different standards and protocols. For example, a router is often called Layer 3 device because its functionality works at the network layer. Similarly, there's a protocol called ARP that functions in Layer 2. Now, the layers must work together to transmit data from one device to another. However, each layer only needs to be aware of the layer directly above it and below it. For example, when data is being sent, the data link layer, Layer 2, receives data from Layer 3 and passes it on to Layer 1. Now, when that data is received on the destination device, Layer 2 will receive the data from Layer 1 and will pass it on to Layer 3. As another example, TCP is a protocol at Layer 4, the transport layer. It does not matter to this layer what's happening at the Layer 1 level, because Layer 4 receives its information from Layer 3. The specifics of the data at Layer 1 are abstracted away by both Layers 2 and 3. Now, all of these layers are important, but depending on your role, you might only focus on some of them. For example, a programmer will typically only deal with the higher layers, while a network engineer might be most interested in the lower layers. The workings of the OSI model might not be crystal clear to you at this point right now, and that's fine. The key thing to take away from this is that the OSI model is a conceptual model to help us understand how devices connect to networks and how data is sent across a network. In just a bit, we'll take a look at a concrete example of a message being sent from one device to another device across a network.